Merry Maid and welcome to Jupiter's Radiance. I'm Taylor and today we're going to be talking about a spread that is meant to support us in stepping up and getting motivated to follow through on our goals or plans. I really believe this aligns with our second week of June because this is right before the solstice and summer really truly beginning in that ramp up period, and so we're in a little bit of a closing out, but really we're at the beginning of something that has already been in the works, and the first seeds that we've already planted we're really seeing come into fruition now. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm affectionately calling this spread Take a Hike. So for our Take a Hike card spread, we start with number 1 over here. This is about our motivation to start. Number 2 is going to be about like our keep going advice. Number 3 is our routine and rhythm. So kind of like once we know a little bit more about the incline and how we're moving forward, we don't need as much, and so we just need a little confirmation of like what that routine and rhythm is going to look like for a little bit. And then we do have 4 over here. This is you currently, so just based off of when this is going, this is just really a snapshot in time before you get started, or maybe letting you know exactly where you are within this. It may be very clear indication that you're already in your routine and rhythm, and this is more to help ease any anxieties, or letting you know like, hey, you're at the point where you're already beyond this, and this isn't the top of the mountain, this is like just starting a hike, right? And so it's like you're already mid-mountain, and so just use this as a nice check-in point and allow yourself to be anywhere on here. You don't necessarily have to be at the beginning. You may find that you currently is like so far above this, and this is kind of reminding you of those beginning steps that you've already taken and that you're actually much further along. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into our collective reading. Number 1, we have inner calling. So I know I can't fully see everything, so I'll put that right there. So we have inner calling, and so this is letting us know our motivation to start. It is actually reminds me of like the hero's journey, and the refusal of the call is, I think, the second step, and before like you accept going on the journey and what that looks like. So definitely a message there for anyone who's looking for that motivation to start, maybe looking into the hero's journey and just taking in that, and maybe even reading a book or two where the character goes through that. Most fiction books do go through a hero's journey, so it would not be hard to find like at all. But I definitely would not recommend like super classics like Odysseus though. Like that's too long. Like you definitely can find like a fiction book that is newer that you would enjoy and is around your topics, and maybe even see yourself in the hero, and could be even more supportive for helping get that motivation for yourself. But inner calling at the end of the day is truly, this is saying like you are starting this journey because you feel called to do it. Okay, and so for your advice for keep going, we have releasing. So you're in the midst of releasing, it feels like fears and doubts. So as you are continuing doing this and you're gaining more self-assurance, but your advice in order to keep going is to keep releasing. So kind of like how when rockets shoot off into space, they have to release in order to keep getting that push of gravity to further push them into the atmosphere. Hopefully I use all those terms correctly, but it's that same kind of concept. Is my point, is that you're releasing in order to get that push forward. And then our number 3, what just your rhythm and routine is going to look like, is moving towards the light. So it's just going to be continuing to follow that inner calling and just leaning more into yourself and listening to yourself is really what it comes across as. Now, for where you are currently, you're at initiation. So this letting us know for this part of the reading is that it is a little bit, it's very interesting because I cannot think where it is, but initiation I'm pretty sure is actually stage 4, I want to say, of the hero's journey. So looking into exactly what that looks like, and because this means that you're past this inner calling, you're probably more in this releasing and figuring out what this rhythm looks like. So you're in between these 2 steps. But you are in the midst of stepping into something greater that has a feeling of acceptance that you are not used to, and that can feel a little scary and a little intimate at first. And so this is allowing us to kind of give ourselves space that this is the start of a journey. You're not meant, like, it's initiation doesn't mean like you're all of a sudden an expert after. Typically it's like you're then, like, initiation is you becoming a student. So it's actually just more of a like, hey, I am committing to this journey. It is not a I have to be ready at the end of this journey. Like, you're just getting started, so give yourself that grace. But we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. I also really like this because now I'm looking at this imagery, and this is called Take a Hike, and they all look like they are like walking up, taking a hike. So I just love that this deck called out to us. As always though, you can use any kind of tarot, oracle, or angel decks that you have. Feel free to comment below. Let me know if you are using one of your own decks or if any of these messages resonated for you. Feel free to share about your journey with our community, get some feedback, some support, whatever you may need. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back on Monday with a full weekly spread. See you then. Blessed be.